Hello, my name is Kimball. I'm with Myrix Marketing, and we're helping Crawford's Auto Repair create these videos on auto maintenance and repair. We've adapted these lessons for a general audience, yet Boy Scouts will find them useful for completing the Automotive Maintenance Merit Badge, since we use the outline for the Merit Badge to create these lessons. One of the requirements for the Merit Badge is knowing how to buy a car, so that's what this lesson is about. The format for this video is a little different. Instead of recording a video myself, like Jeff did in other lessons, I'm making a slideshow so that I can illustrate more. Before purchasing a vehicle, one must understand the costs involved in owning a vehicle. When shopping for a vehicle, either from dealerships or when buying from the owner, you'll see the purchase price. However, that is only the beginning of what a vehicle will cost, and all costs must be considered before accepting the additional expenses on a monthly budget. The costs of owning a vehicle include the following: the purchase price or monthly loan payment, monthly insurance payment, yearly registration fees, state inspection fees, fuel, regular maintenance, and repairs. Regarding the purchase price, you will always get a better price if you know how to negotiate. We don't cover negotiation techniques in this lesson, but it is a crucial skill. Go to your local public library and check out books or audiobooks on developing negotiating skills, or try finding a class that teaches negotiating. Knowing how to negotiate firmly and fairly will serve you well in many situations, not just when buying a vehicle. I don't personally recommend buying a vehicle from the dealer because I believe you can usually get a better deal when buying a used vehicle from the owner. If you can pay for the car in full up front, that is better than taking out a loan, since you won't have to pay interest. Of course, you must do what is best for you and your financial situation. If you decide to buy the vehicle from a dealer, then they will give you a detailed list of the vehicle price and any services that they added. They basically perform these services before asking a potential buyer if he or she wants them. Some of these services might include a desert protection package, which is something that we see here in Arizona, or a theft protection package. These are a couple of things that Jeff told me about since he used to work with the dealer. And basically what the desert protection package means is that they include a wax covering to protect the paint of the car, and they also tint the windows. They probably charge you more than it would cost to do this privately, and they don't even ask if you want it. Also, the theft protection package, basically that means that they etch a number into your window, and it's supposed to be a number which helps identify your vehicle, but police officers, when your vehicle gets stolen, they don't even use that number. They use the vehicle identification number. So when you are buying from a dealer, you'll see this list of services. What you want to do is go through this list one by one and ask them, what did the technician do for this service? What did the technician do for this service? And when they describe it, if it doesn't sound like something that you would have paid for, that you would have decided to pay for, then ask them to take that service off the price. And usually they'll do it. If they tinted your windows and charged you for window tinting, they're not going to untint the windows. They'll just take that off the price. So that's something you're going to want to do if you buy from the dealer. The best month of the year to buy a vehicle from the dealer is probably December, since they will probably be more willing to negotiate on the price before the end of the year. So regarding the monthly insurance payment, there are many different insurance companies that offer car insurance, Geico and Farmers and Esurance, and there's a whole multitude. Those are some of the ones that are advertised the most. But basically, they each have their own policies and coverage plans, and they cater to specific types of drivers. And so you may have heard the tagline, something to the effect of, "Those who switch to our plan save 15% or more." And pay attention to the wording in those types of advertisements, because if the people who contacted them could save 15%, then of course they're going to switch. But if they couldn't save 15%, then they won't switch. So that's why they word it that way. Those who switched could save 15% or more. It's like saying those who play basketball like to play basketball, but it doesn't mean that everybody will like to play basketball. So there's a requirement that, you know, if you want to save on insurance, you got to shop around a little bit. You got to be ready to call them and be mentally prepared to be working with representatives and talking to them on the phone and getting put on hold, unfortunately. So there are different coverage options. If you elect liability only, that means that they will only cover damages for the other party when you get in an accident and it's your fault. If it's not your fault, of course, the other person's insurance should pay if they have insurance. But if you want other coverages, such as towing when your vehicle breaks down, or car rental, or coverage that will cover medical costs if you get in an accident, then those are extra coverage plans, and those will cost more. So that's something you have to decide when you're shopping around for insurance companies. Next, we'll go to registration fees and state inspection fees. All vehicles that are driven on public roads have to be registered with a state motor vehicle division, or the DMV, and that will be a yearly fee, and then some states require certain inspections. So in Arizona, there's certain vehicles that require emissions testing, and that will require a different fee as well. So next, we go to fuel costs. Probably the best day of the week to buy fuel is Wednesday. They have a certain system where they charge more for people on Monday that are going back to work, and then they charge more on the weekend for people who like to do weekend travel. The price of fuel will vary by week to week and by location, so it generally goes up over time. When you're shopping for a vehicle, you can purchase a vehicle that has good gas mileage, and that will reduce your fuel expenses. If you go to www.crawfordsautoservice.com and go to any page past the home page, you'll see on the right, on the sidebar, there is a place there where you can enter the make and model of any vehicle, and it will tell you a statistical average of what the gas mileage that vehicle gets. It's a statistical average, so if you were to actually purchase that vehicle, you may or may not get the same gas mileage. It will depend on the condition of your vehicle and also the roads where you drive. So next we'll discuss maintenance and repairs. The more you maintain your vehicle, the less it will cost for repairs. So if your vehicle, if the owner's manual in your vehicle says that you need an oil change every 5,000 miles, get an oil change every 5,000 miles. If you need brake service, then get a brake service at the manufacturer's recommendation, because if you neglect these maintenance issues, then the repairs will be so much more. And if you maintain your car well, it will last longer, and over time you won't have to purchase vehicles as often. So it costs less to maintain your vehicle than it does to purchase more vehicles more often over time. If you live in the Mesa, Arizona area, then I'd highly recommend bringing your vehicles to Crawford's Auto Repair for friendly and honest service at a very fair and modest price. The reason I'm working with Crawford's Auto Repair is because I started off as one of their customers, and it's it's easy to provide marketing services for them because it's a service that I believe in. They do good work. All vehicle owners should become familiar with their owner's manual, and particularly the maintenance chart in their owner's manual, because when you are familiar with the owner's manual, then you will know whether a service writer might be trying to upsell you on services that you don't need. So, in order to save money, become familiar with the owner's manual. Now that we've discussed the costs of owning a vehicle, here are the specific steps for purchasing a vehicle. You'll start by shopping around in vehicle marketplaces. You might go to Craigslist or Auto Trader, either online or on their publication offline. You could go to Yahoo Autos, and there's plenty of other markets that you can go to online and offline. Sometimes at the local service station you might see a stand with free publications, and one of those publications might be a local auto market. So you do some shopping around, you look for vehicles within your price range, and then when you see some vehicles that you're interested in, you do your research. You can contact your insurance companies to see which vehicles have better coverage. You can look up the gas mileage. You can look at consumer reports online. You can find comments online to see what the common repairs or issues are with certain makes and models. And you can also go to Kelley Blue Book to see the Kelley Blue Book value. Go to www.kbb.com and you can enter the make and model and condition of any vehicle, and it will tell you what that vehicle is worth. The Kelley Blue Book is the standard for pricing all new and used vehicles in the vehicle marketplace. So when you're looking at vehicles, that's how you know generally whether you're getting a good deal or not. If it's below Kelley Blue Book value, it's a better deal than if you're getting it for above Kelley Blue Book value. It will also be a baseline figure that you can use when you're starting to negotiate the price with the seller. So when you found 1 to 3 makes and models that you're willing and able to buy, then you call or email the person selling the vehicle. And when you make this call, you'll ask them for additional information. So if they don't say in the description whether it has air conditioning or not, you want to ask them if they have air conditioning, especially if you live in Arizona. Or if they don't mention the mileage, then you'll want to ask them what the mileage is. You'll want to ask them why they're selling the vehicle. And anything else that you might want to know that isn't specifically described in the description. So if you're still interested after the phone call or after emailing this person, then you'll set up a time to meet. And what I suggest is getting to know a local, friendly mechanic that you can trust. And when you contact this seller of the vehicle to meet and test drive the vehicle and look at the vehicle to decide whether you want to buy it, I would suggest meeting at the mechanic's repair shop. A lot of people don't do this, but this is highly recommended, because if you allow your mechanic to inspect the vehicle before you buy it, then he will be able to find things that you would never even think to look for. He'll put it up on his lift and he'll look at the underside of the vehicle. He'll do a complete inspection, similar to the one that Jeff does in lesson 2, if you want to watch that video. Check all the lights, check all the hoses, check all the fuses, and the mechanic will be able to find things that you can't find, and that will give you a better idea of the condition of the vehicle than if you just test drove it yourself. You will definitely test drive the vehicle. You'll test everything on the inside, make sure the air conditioning works, the heating, the lights, everything on the dashboard. And if you find anything that is in need of repair, then those things will factor in to when you start negotiating for buying the vehicle. But basically, you just want to know if you buy the vehicle, are you getting what you're expecting? So if after the mechanic inspects it and you've inspected it and you've test driven the vehicle, if you're still interested in this vehicle, what you'll do is you'll make an offer to the seller. And then the seller will either accept your offer or make a counter offer, and then you go back and forth until you can agree on a price. And this is where your training on negotiating will pay off. So, assuming you found a vehicle, you've agreed with the seller on a price, and you are going to purchase this vehicle, the next thing that will happen is probably you will go to the bank or to a lender to get money for the vehicle, and then the seller will go get the title notarized. He'll either do this at a title service shop or at the DMV. If you go to a title service shop, they'll charge an additional fee, but they're usually a lot faster, and it's better than having to wait in the lines at the DMV. So they'll get the title notarized, which basically acknowledges that they're selling the vehicle. Then you will meet together again and you exchange the money for the keys and title. Once you have the keys and title, then you will have to take the title either to a title service company or to the DMV and have the vehicle registered in your name. This is when you get the new license plate. This is when you initially register it. Of course, it comes with its own yearly fees. That's what we talked about before with the state registration and state inspection fees. So you now have the vehicle. It's registered in your name. The one other thing that you will have to do to finish this off is either purchase new car insurance or inform your current insurance provider that you've purchased a new vehicle and get coverage for that vehicle. And those are the steps to purchasing a vehicle.